CVA's AccuraSeries, Agara barrels for guaranteed accuracy, nitride for guaranteed rust proofing, and a rifle guaranteed to be the best muzzleloader you've ever shot. CVA, it's just a better gun.
This segment's being brought to you by 3rd Regiment Game Calls. Friends, family, and faith in the outdoors. One call at a time.
All right, everybody, it's time for this week's Pictures of the Week. They're being brought to you by Flowers Garden Center and Deer Processing. They've done wrapped up the deer processing for the year, guys. Got everything cleaned up, but now they're getting started on their garden center. They'll be ready to serve all your garden and flower needs coming up this spring. All right, our first picture here. Connor Rogers sent this picture, and this is his girlfriend, Emma Hines, with her very first ever buck she got this past season, and that's a nice buck regardless, but that is a heck of a first buck, so congratulations on that one, Emma. All right, our next picture here, this is Amber Orman, and this is a nice buck that she took out of Haywood County this
She's down
year.
there by me. I met her one day in Jackson at Gander, I sure did.
Okay, well, very nice buck.
Yep.
All right, these are some of our favorites here. Joel Lester sent us this picture, and this is his son Leland with his very first deer. He got this deer at 6 years old, and the part of the story was that he told his dad and granddaddy that he hit it, and they told him that he had missed it. Well, he talked them into going down there and looking in the edge of the woods. He said he knew he had hit the deer, and sure enough, he did. So
I know both of them.
Well,
They're down by my way.
One,
They sure are.
All right, and our last picture, there's a nice fish. This is Chris Kraft with a beautiful smallmouth bass that he caught down there in JR's territory below the Pickwick Dam. So congratulations on that one, Chris. Very nice fish. Y'all can send your pictures to us here at Southern Woods and Waters, 474 James Robertson Parkway, or get them to me on Facebook or at the email on the screen there, and we'll get them on the show just as soon as we can. All right, guys, welcome back to the studio. Again, tonight I've got with me Mr. Carl Doron, and I've got Anthony Landreth with us, and we've been talking about the Snipe Creek Lodge. And you guys, we just showed a hunt that you were on, Anthony. Now, at the same time, JR was out, and he had Mr. Jerry Tubbs with him.
That's Clint's granddaddy.
And that's Clint's granddaddy, and he just seemed like a neat guy anyway, just as I was watching the video and editing, and he really enjoyed this hunt.
To be there right after the hunt and after he shot that buck was pretty special.
I would say it was.
There was a lot of energy coming out of that group.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's
really
go on
thrilling.
over and see how Mr. Jerry did.
He's down. He's down. High five. All right, Mr. Jerry. Good deal, buddy.
That's what we come for, wouldn't it?
That's exactly what we come for.
Yep. It's a possibility that might have been the one I seen earlier this morning.
I think that's the one he slipped up. That's the one we saw about daylight down there in the bottom because he's dark colored like that. Mr. Jerry, you're shaking a little bit. What, did you get a little excited?
Well, not till after the gun was
Not
stopped.
till after the gun went off?
Well, part of the problem was my scope is on too high a power and I never found the deer.
I know it. You kept adjusting. I kept saying, it'll be all right. Just take your time there. Just take your time.
That,
Well, we'll get down there and get a picture of him here in a minute. We got to call the outfitter and tell him one's down, and then we'll go from there.
that'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I'm tickled for you.
All right.
Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Hey guys, I want to thank everybody at Snipes Creek Lodge, Mr. Carl Dunn, Doron, for putting us on this fantastic deer for Mr. Jerry. I want to thank Lyndhurst Family Resort for allowing us to stay there. Most of all, I want to thank Mr. Jerry Tubbs and his grandson Clint, which he and Anthony are still filming. They're on another farm. But a good Kentucky deer, and we are so proud to have Snipe Creek Lodge help with the Brad Deming Bicycle Fund. Without the support of Snipes Creek Lodge and Lyndhurst, we wouldn't be able to afford to do what we do with the bicycles. This trip is going to make some kids mighty happy at Christmas time. I'm just very proud for you, Mr. Jerry.
Yes, sir.
Nice Kentucky buck.
Yes,
Hi guys, we're up here at Snipes Creek Skinning Shed. Mr. Jerry is showing off his deer. We've got Mr. Carl Doran and Mr. Randy Walls. We want to thank Lyndhurst Family Lodge for allowing us to stay there. Mr. Carl, you got anything you want to say?
Very nice buck, good kill, right opening morning of the 2020 whitetail season in western Kentucky. And I'd like to hear the story just a little bit, maybe. How it all happened.
Tell them the story, Mr. Jerry.
I was sitting there and the deer came down through the hill and I looked at it and I said, looked fairly good. And Mr. J.R., would you give me your opinion? He said, when I handed him the binoculars, he looked at it and he said, I'd shoot it. And I said, okay.
You'd
So I shot it.
about have to shoot one like that. A lot of mass.
He's a nice.
Well, he just got a whole lot of character. You kind of bend his head down just a little bit. You can see all of that. Some really pretty tines coming up here. Pretty rack. Like this right here. There's not a bad angle on him, really.
No, it's not. Well, I'm gonna tell you something. Mr. Dead-Eye Jerry right here. He and that 300 put the smack down on him. Now I cannot tell you that Jerry wasn't a little excited after that deer fell.
I couldn't get the deer in my scope was my problem.
Did you put the scope back down lower?
He turned it back.
Problem. I'm sitting in a chair and the box down was here. When I laid my gun up on that rail, actually everything was aimed above the deer.
Yeah.
The scope was set on the high power. When I looked at it, I seen all these weeds and bushes, but I couldn't pick the deer up. And finally I got it.
You had to make some adjustments.
Yeah, had to get up.
You had to be a hunter. Sometimes you just got to be a hunter.
That's right.
And you were.
You got the job done.
Then here he is right here. Yep. Snipe Creek right there, Snipe.
Yeah, and once again, I cannot tell you how much Brad Deming Bicycle Fund appreciates what you and Randy do for us and our organization.
Well, what I'm seeing right now is those 100 plus kids riding bicycles.
Absolutely.
That's correct.
That it's providing. That's a lot of bicycles. That's for a lot of kids.
That's it.
100 kids coming into Christmas.
That's what we're here for.
That's a big number of an elementary school period.
It is. It is.
Of children.
And once again, we truly appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Paul.
Does my hair look good today for the camera and all?
Oh, you look fine. That wind's starting to pick up. You look fine.
All right, welcome back to the studio. That was a nice deer.
Yep, it was.
That was a super nice buck. Mr. Jerry was he was a little excited.
Yes, he was.
Well, he had that old scope turned up, didn't he, Carl?
He's ready for that, but that was a pretty big mistake that a lot of hunters make. They'll have that scope and then you can't find the deer in the scope, but he made it work.
He made it work
sure
out, and he sure made a shot too, buddy, because that deer went straight down.
Yep.
He made a heck of a shot. Well, let's go on over and do this week's product of the week. This week's product of the week is being sponsored by Caney Fork Outdoors. You guys can find them at cfoutdoors.com or get off I-40. They're at the Center Hill Dam exit. Go to the bottom of the hill and take a right. You'll find them there at the Big Rock Market. Let them get you outfitted and put it on the river. All right, here's this week's product of the week. It's the G3 Gator Tough 17. This is a 17-foot 2-inch boat, and it's in shadow grass camouflage, center console, and it's got a 70-horse Yamaha on it. You know I love those Yamahas, Anthony, and JR does too. He's got a 70 Yamaha on his. If you guys are interested in this G3 or any of the lineup of G3s down there at Nashville Marine, give our buddy David McMurray a call at 615-784-4449 and let them take care of all your G3 and your other boating needs. All right, guys, welcome back. We're going to take just a quick break, and we'll be back here in just a minute. We're going to open the phone lines, and we'll have some more Southern Woods Walkers.